Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flippin' and Easy. Sorry about the delay. We are still kind of working out the kinks with this new camera, and I guess this is as wide as the lens wants to go. Something I got to figure out, but this is just the way we're going to have to do it today. So all is well. You guys don't get to see all the cases behind me, but that's
Well, you can see enough.
that's pretty cool. So basically, we just fooling around with that, and earlier messing around with just some of the data, just trying to compare data from last year, my sales, that type of thing. I could tell you that sales are um, good. I mean, we had a pretty good sales day today. Things are going strong, and my biggest concern with my sales going into the summer was, am I selling stuff that is summer proof? And we're talking about, sales during the summer. And, a lot of times people say, well, the buyers are out and they're not buying on eBay and they're out with their family, this, that, and the other thing. And it kind of got me to thinking, you know, is it that or that you're having slow sales? I mean, that's part of it, I suppose, but is it kind of the opposite as well? Are you as sellers out spending more time with your family and less time listing and putting more merchandise into your accounts? And maybe there's some truth there to that, because I mean, myself, we're going to go spend some time with family next weekend, which is probably why next Friday, we're not having a live next Friday. We'll probably have it on Thursday next week, because we're going to be traveling to see our family, going to an Angels game on Sunday. So it'll be a good time. But that's just my point. What am I doing, while I'm gone those 3 days? What am I doing with my account? I mean, I'm going to have to go in, and that's my plan, is to have some listings done. So I'm a firm believer of just firing up listings, have them in the draft. And, it's like eBay doesn't even know I'm gone. And part of it's playing to the algorithm, but also part of it is getting new merchandise into my store. And I think it's important that we consider that it may not just be the buyers that are slowing our sales down during the summer. It could be ourselves. And that's just something I was thinking about today. And I thought, well, maybe it's kind of worth mentioning, because you never really hear it mentioned. We're always looking for outside factors to explain why our sales aren't the way they should be in our minds. And I was looking at some charts, or not the charts, but the performance reports as compared to last year. Our sales from May 24th to June 23rd of this year compared to last year are up 118.9%. Okay. So that just shows you. And here's another thing. We actually had 190 sales last year, as compared to 155. Okay, actually 190 sales this year as compared to 155 last year. So our ASP has helped sort of offset, even if we would have sold 155 this year, we would have sold more in value because our ASP is higher, if that makes sense. So we're looking at maybe a 25% increase in number of items sold, but we're looking at 118% in revenue. And again, my argument has always been, I don't care how many items I sell. I mean, that's just an indicator, maybe something to compare month over month, year over year. It's not to me at all about how many items I sold. How much money did you make? And of course, eBay doesn't deposit listings into our bank account. It's the number of dollars that really matters. That's what pays your bills, what pays my bills, what allows us to go and buy new goods and so forth. So my takeaway is that, and my suspicion is that I'm not the only one that's going to be taking advantage of family time this summer, and or doing things, just maybe going out, getting out where the weather is nice. And my question to you is, what is your plan to offset that when you go out for a few days, you go on vacation? You hopefully should be doing more than just trying to figure out, how do I go on vacation mode? You need to keep your business running if you rely on this income. If you don't rely on the income, just do whatever you want to do. But for the full-time sellers out there, do you have it planned where you could take a 1 week hit in revenue if you shut your store down, or are you planning on doing what I do and getting some extra work in like this week, and be getting extra listings done, banking some drafts? And I know there's an argument to that. Why bank the draft or schedule the listing? Probably that's what I'll do. But either one, why do that in lieu of just listing it now? And for me, it's just playing the algorithm. I got to tell you, when I take a day off a listing, usually the next day it doesn't really show me anything. But if I take a second day off of listing, which is rare for me, but when it happens, I start to notice a downfall. And so that's just my thought about that. There is no manual on the eBay algorithm. We just got to kind of try to figure it out. But I've spoken to many people who said that, you know what, I just haven't listed. Their sales were fine, and then they just stopped listing for whatever reason, and their sales dramatically declined. And then once they got the listing flow going, and that's kind of like our secondary account. We get listings in there, and then we stop for a couple days, and it just dead, right? And then we get back, we list more stuff, and other things sell, things that have been up for sale. So it's not also about replenishing your store. I just think there's some truth to what eBay wants the attention. Listing consistently is big. And of course, your account maintenance is also pretty big. So if you go out with family this summer and spend time, and no one's saying that this is the only thing you should be doing, have a good time, enjoy the benefits of reselling, which allows you to create your own schedule. With that, there's no boss to police you. You got to kind of police yourself, but anticipate. Am I going to be gone next weekend? Am I going to be gone for a few days? Put in the extra work so that your account doesn't take a hit. And I think that's part of the equation, in addition to buyers are also not paying attention to eBay. So that's my 2 cents on that. Wanted to get your opinion on this. I picked this up. This is it's a jumper girth is what they call it. It's for a horse. It's an equestrian jumper girth. I don't know. I'm moving it around too much, but I'm hoping somebody knows a little bit about this thing. I do know more now than I did an hour ago, and it's just another point I wanted to bring up about reselling. How many out there feel like you're a private investigator? When you get some of these items and you're like, what the hell is this? Now I know there's value because it's a horse item, and every item I bought for horses, even in liquidation, you get that kind of stuff, believe it or not. And every time I get this type of item, it's worth money, and I'm into it for $3. So it's new, never used. There's another piece to it that I haven't shown you. And thankfully I have a friend in the horse business. He runs his own ranch, and he was able to kind of tell me exactly what it is. He trains race horses, but he says, we don't use those. These are used by equestrians. But I'm not able to find the one that matches this online. So I just feel like a private investigator. I use my Google Lens. I'm on there doing Google searches. I have to phone a friend. Okay. It's like, what other occupation do you got to phone a friend to try to get through the day? So, and I know there's some niche sellers out there saying, that's exactly why I don't sell everything. But if I can buy something for $3, flip it for 100, that's over 30x after fees, and I'm not even counting shipping because that's an extra charge. To me, that's worth selling other stuff, and I'm learning as I go. So next time I come across something like this, it's like, I know that that's worth some money, and I don't even really have to do a lot of homework on it. So a lot of stuff to talk about today, but hopefully you guys have some answers for me. And have you done some comparisons with your own numbers as it pertains to last year? How are you doing as compared to last year? I even ran some numbers comparing the last 30 days to maybe the month of July and August. And it appears from last year, my month of July got better than my month of June. It was better than June. And then in August, it kind of dipped again. So July was actually better than June and August for me. So want to know how you guys have done here. For those of you who are with us today, please comment in the chat. That's what helps drive this content. I mean, really, this live stream would be done if I didn't have your participation. So please do that and hit the like button, guys. Get that sale. We have a 24-hour thing. If you hit the like button, don't ask me how it works, but it just works. You're going to get a sale in the next 24 hours. So please hit the like button. And of course, if you're not with us today, comment in the comment section, and of course, ask your questions or maybe an answer to a question, or let me know how your numbers look so far. We have Sandra Hoyer. She's got a novel that she wrote us. I don't know if we should. Let's go ahead and read it, I guess. Sandra says, "Come early to tell you my story and would appreciate any feedback from all. My store sells everything, jewelry, antiques, collectibles, etc. 2 days ago, I received a message from a person looking at my Indian jewelry, sending me messages per piece stating they're not authentic. She contacted me to say she was going to report me to the Native American Violation Act. I did not change my listing or take them down. She claimed to be an elder as well as silversmith. I didn't change my post because I'm in good faith purchased them over the last 50 plus years. She came back the next day harassing me, saying she will report me to eBay, the Fair Trades Act for violation. I politely responded that they were purchased on trips and such. She was there again this morning demanding what am I planning to do with the jewelry. I ended up changing some, but not all the listing. I'm afraid to report her to eBay because she's mean. I sent another polite response. I'm sure she will be back later today or tomorrow. So my question is, should I do nothing and see what happens? I don't want her to mess with my eBay account. I feel very uncomfortable with the entire situation. Here's what I would say to do. I mean, yeah, this is the last thing I normally would do but I would reach out to maybe eBay for Business, and in lesser words, kind of maybe explain, you can do that on Facebook, a messenger, maybe explain what's happening and what your, what you can do. I'm going to have you call eBay, but you may get someone in the Philippines that really couldn't answer your question if you gave them the answer. So maybe someone here has the answer, but I mean, the first sale doctrine can only go so far. You're dealing with manufacturers and companies that own the rights to certain things. We're talking about something a little different, and there's nothing stopping someone from going in and reporting your item as counterfeit, and eBay is going to take it down. Very good chance that they're going to take it down, and that's it. You can't list it anymore. So maybe have you tried selling this on Etsy, that type of thing? Seems like a good place to maybe try to move that stuff. But anyone in the chat has a good answer or to that question, I'd certainly appreciate it. Mike Camparelli says, "Hi, Sandra, you could contact eBay and see if they can be listed. If no, then you have your answer. If yes, you can on record in case you have a problem with the person in the future." Yeah. But my thing is, it isn't so much of having the problem with the person in the future. It's them filing maybe a counterfeit claim or something to that nature, and
this person's not even a buyer. Like, just block her.
No, they're just an angry person that just doesn't like that being sold. But in my opinion, you have the right to sell what you own. You bought that over many years, and you should be able to sell it. But there are people with bad intentions out there that can easily go in, report this seller, and then after a while your stuff's gone. It's not even listed anymore, and it's you have a little note from eBay saying that these items were reported to eBay as not authentic or whatever, and now they're telling you can't list it again. So maybe I would say if it was something that happened to me, I'd try to get out in front of it by contacting eBay. In your case, eBay for Business. I realize not everyone is going to be able to get a hold of a US rep. If you can, contact one and have a conversation as to what eBay expects from you, and maybe just like Mike said, get it on record so you're ahead of this, and you can make reference to if you need to dispute it, because if your listings get taken down for that type of reason, then you would go in and dispute it. Of course,
but why go through all the headache? Why wouldn't you just block them? Yes, you can call eBay and report it, to them, but you would block them.
Blocking would do nothing other than
then they can't see the listings.
They can see the listings. They can't contact you unless they bought from you. So I'm assuming this person's never bought from you before, so they would be able to still. Now you can block them from contacting you, but that doesn't stop them from seeing your listings or taking action against the seller. So, or at least filing a false.
They can see your store anymore.
Yes,
after
they can.
You block.
Yes, they can. They can. And, chances are she already has that information. So she can go and contact eBay and say, hey, there's a listing up. Here's the listing number. And I want to report it as whatever, right?
Why is somebody knocking at the door?
So, it's funny. We thought we were going to have a uninterrupted live stream today because the FedEx guy came and our mail came, right? So it's like, no issues with that, but now we have people knocking on the door like in code for some reason. It's really strange. So let's see. Jovial Juggler says, hi Sandra, my uncle had issues a while back selling Indian jewelry. There is an IACA Act, Indian Arts and Crafts Act, in which the individual may be referring. I will copy and paste below. And then it says, it is a violation of the Indian Arts and Crafts Act. Please note that the IACA applies.
Our FedEx guy came, our regular FedEx guy came.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's weird. Another FedEx guy came. I'm sorry. It is violation of the Indian Arts and Crafts Act. Please note that the IACA applies to art and craft products being displayed or offered for sale or sold as American Indian, Alaska Native American, or the product of a particular Indian tribe. That's all interesting. So are we saying that the item in question or the items in question are not to be resold? How does one move those then? Do you have to go to a dealer? Very interested by that. Gail says, so if you buy jewelry on a reservation, you get a letter of authentication for each piece you buy. Anyone who's ever gone on a reservation has seen jewelry being sold. They have I remember we take the train, at least I took the train across country, and we'd stop in Albuquerque, and they'd have the natives would set up tables right there on the platform, and we'd have 15 minutes in Albuquerque, so they can replenish the train or whatever. And, we would get off the train and go and check out their wares and stuff, but nowhere there did they have any kind of letter of authenticity. That doesn't even make sense. So, yeah, that's interesting. Victor's in the house. Hello to everyone. Have a great weekend. Yes. Let's try to get some sales this weekend. Picky Ricky says, hi, doing another boot sale in the morning. So doubt I will be awake at the end of this live. Well, thanks for being here with us nonetheless. And now Jovial Juggler is going on to kind of also say that, not saying you are in violation at all, just saying some info to pass along. My uncle was dumbfounded as he was simply trying to pass on an American Indian artifact, so it would not be discarded as another piece of jewelry, right? And it's important. You can't just sell that as just a generic piece of jewelry. You got to have. There's collectors out there.
There's key buyers that are looking for keywords.
Yeah, American Indian heritage has always been a big part of my family on my mom's side. My Aunt Dolores, she was a big time painter of American Indian art. My other aunt also did art. She was always trying to be like her older sister and never lived up to that. But that was always something that they were into. And there's a large population of people that would buy it because it is what you say it is. It's American Indian. So Sanders says, I think I may be in trouble. I bought all these pieces as personal items over the last 50 years. I was always into Indian jewelry, have no certificates. And the idea that you would doesn't even make sense.
We've gotten Indian jewelry just at truck stops from the Indian natives selling it at the truck stops. So I don't know why you would have that.
Now, my only concern is not so much that you can sell them or not, that someone wants to mess with you bad enough, they can go in and have it removed. But yeah, I better change these posts just to be safe. I'm so bummed. I wouldn't change anything yet. For me, it is one of those things where I'd reach out to eBay and get an answer of some sort as to what you're allowed to do and what this person's able to do. Because I think they can, if they wanted to, like I said, it may be that this person doesn't know anything about eBay and they don't know anything about a report the buyer button or anything like that. So it could be a situation they're just continually harassing you until you take it down. I'm sure by now they probably tried to call eBay and they got someone in the Philippines that doesn't know an Indian from a cowboy. So I would say they're probably frustrated because they can't get this thing reported. That's just the thought of mine if they haven't been able to pull it down by yet. Leonard says, I was just looking on eBay and I see if you're not a Native American, list as not Native American in the list style of Native American arts and crafts. But they have a category for it. So why can't you list it that way?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I know that eBay was cracking down on some African American Americana, old vintage and antique items and things that were produced that people were selling. And also, I think like the World War II Nazi stuff was also removed. But I've never heard of anything like Native American stuff being removed. And it's a shame, to be honest with you, that someone would want that removed because, I mean, unless it's like a one of a kind piece that they think that they should have back, that type of thing. Chances are it's going to a collector. Someone is going to take care of it. Someone appreciates it. And the idea that someone's giving you a hard time about it just doesn't seem right. So let's see. Dre Work says, hello, everyone. I always caught the live afterwards. So I'm tuning in for the first time. I find this channel very informative and uplifting.
Awesome.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks for being here. Yeah, this is a community of resellers, like-minded people that, maybe don't always agree on stuff, but we come in here and we talk about different things. We, I'll ask you guys to give me some information. There's times that you guys will pop in here and say, hey, I have this situation, sort of like Sandra's having. And we sort of brainstorm together to try to find the best course of action. And you know what? It may not be affecting you today, but you may go to a yard sale next weekend, pick up something like this and go, wow, this is pretty cool. I'm going to list it on eBay, and then have the same person breathing down your neck in a couple of weeks want you to remove it. And
that would make me angry.
Yeah, just knowing that, you know what, we've all kind of explored these things together, and you can go, I remember back on that live stream, this is how they handled it. So hopefully we can get a pretty good answer other than what I gave you. But Kate's in the house. Glad to catch a live show this afternoon. Thank you for being here. Mark Sudick says, hello, all. We have Flippin' Con Marco says, hey, John and Jenna, and the test of the FAE fam, I'm sure you mean rest. Hope everyone had an awesome week. I just got approved for Whatnot. What are your thoughts on this? I think you talked about this before. As far as Whatnot is concerned, I think it's a great way to move a lot of merchandise that you're sitting on. There's people who go and buy merchandise like at the bins for, what is it, $1.69 or whatever it is a pound. And then they go in and they sell, started off at $2 a piece, never started off at $1 a piece on Whatnot, because if you sell it for $1, you're losing money after the fees and everything. So they're left with either a lot of extra inventory that didn't sell, and or they sell it so cheap, it's like, wow, I could have sold this for 5x maybe. Maybe it would have been sitting a little longer. But for me, it's a good way just to liquidate merchandise that you just don't want to deal with anymore. Other than that, I guess for me, it's not a good business model. For others who do that thing, go to the bins, take it home, Whatnot, make $400, $500, $600, take that money back, flip it. If you have that going on, then it works, I guess. But
I mean, if you have the time and the patience and the inventory, like I feel like Whatnot is only good for like a large amount of sales in order to get. It's the juice. What did you say? The
The
juice
juice isn't worth the squeeze. Yeah.
Um, that's how I feel. I mean, that's just my opinion. I just
Yeah.
feel like it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time putting into something that's not going to make a whole lot of money.
Yeah, I like juicy squeezes here. We got to have at least 5x to even really want to mess with stuff, and Whatnot's just not going to do it for me.
But you know, it's everything's going to work for somebody, and or you know,
it does.
and it does work for some people, and it may work for you. So
I mean, if I got kicked off of eBay, I mean, I guess I'd jump over there. But it is what it is.
I'm not sure you'd get a whole lot of people buying your toilet seats.
I don't know. Maybe I get a certificate of authenticity and say Elvis sat on this toilet seat, you know. But you know, we never know. But that's one of those things where you don't know that you'd actually use it until you use it. I did sign up, was approved, went through the 30-minute course, and then found myself saying to myself, well, okay, now what? What am I going to do? Do I want to go out and source this stuff and then just flip it for, you know, a 1x, 2x flip? You know, it's you know, Archie did some test runs, and you know, maybe it's because I have a following here. You know, we're going on 20,000 subs. That would be a way to get a little boost over someone else. I mean, that's the reality of it.
Yeah,
but
that's just, I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's going to be harder for someone that doesn't have a channel or doesn't have a social media following to maybe build up enough people because when you first have your auctions, you're going to get a handful of people, and you're not going to sell everything to those handful. You're going to have to build that audience. That's why you see a lot of times they have giveaways and stuff like that to build the number of people that'll come in and hopefully buy from them. But it's a challenge, just like anything else. You're going to start from the bottom and have to work your way up.
I feel you can't just do one. Like you can't just, or say 5. You have to continue it and keep going with Whatnot. I feel like you would have to be a consistent seller in order to make any progress, because you're going up against followers, right?
Yeah, and another thing is you're going to be, you know, you're going to be talking, whether you show yourself or not, you're going to be talking on this. And is that something that you really want to do? Do you feel comfortable for 30, 45, 1 hour to just go in and just talk? I got to tell you, you can go back and watch some of the live streams that I did when we first started. That ain't comfortable at all. And it's something that I've learned to kind of deal with, and it's become more comfortable.
Well, they saw it when I did mine all by myself.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's not. And you know, you got to think, well, okay, I've got to go through 20, 30 items that I'm selling on Whatnot. And how do I keep them engaged from the time that they get on my live stream to the last piece I'm selling?
Yeah.
And if you're just like monotone and not interesting, people are going to click off.
Yeah,
so,
I feel like you have to have a certain personality, a really upbeat and, you know, fun personality to be able to make that work.
And just temper your expectations. You know, that item that has sold comps for, you know, you might have bought it for $1. It has sold comps for 10 to 20 on eBay, but you're only getting 2 to 3 on Whatnot. That's because resellers are probably buying it, and or people are on there looking for a good deal. You're not going to hit the same sold comps that you'd see on eBay.
Yeah.
So my philosophy is, you just want to, if you're going to buy the stuff to resell, put in the work, maximize the amount of money you're getting for that stuff, unless it's like stuff that's sitting in our other account, which isn't selling. I mean, making a sale here and a sale there, and you're just trying to liquidate it and focus on what is selling, then that is a place to go where you can flip that type of merchandise and maybe get some money you can flip into better stuff. So just some ideas. But let's see, we have Biscuit Butts in the house. He's here. Thanks for being here. We got that stranger.
Archie.
Got Devin Short. Thanks for being here. We have Kim Sharp. Hello, everyone from rainy, humid Florida. Mike's in the house. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone are well and selling. Yeah, we are selling. And I went and picked up yesterday 2 carloads of stuff. I must have about 50 items. That doesn't seem like a lot when, you know, we're talking 2 carloads, but And I still have another carload to pick up probably tomorrow, and get stuff listed. That's just and I have more stuff that I'm sourcing every day. So the idea is when we go next weekend to visit the family, it's gonna be like we haven't left. We're gonna have stuff that's just gonna continue to list. So that's the plan. Janet Hyder says hi from Georgia. Thanks for being here. Hater. Okay. Henri Squaw says, I made it on time for once. Yes. Thanks for being here. We got Bill York. Thanks for being here, Bill. Steve Post. Thanks for being here, Steve. And Keena. Hello, beautiful flipping family. Thanks for being here.
Hello, Keena.
Tommy said the camera looks 10 times clearer, whatever you did.
We have a new camera.
Yeah, well, they knew that. Tommy was here.
Some people don't.
Well, but anyone who's watched my channel. And
we have to sit very close, though.
Well, she's bogarting this camera.
Well,
so it's like, that's fine. I'm sure you guys prefer that. But as far as the camera clarity, I took your advice. I moved the slider to more 5,000, which is helpful. We have the light. We changed the brightness a little bit. So, and maybe purple is a better color in the background than blue is. So thankfully, it was a wise investment. And the funny thing is, I already flipped the old camera, so we're stuck.
It went out this morning.
I flipped it for like $30 plus shipping, so I don't waste time. Let's see. Bill York says, what is the most unusual item that you've listed? Well, I listed a Australian horse harness that we sold for $100.
That's not
unusual.
Unusual. I would say it had to have been that mannequin thing that
I get unusual things. I don't source your normal stuff.
Oh, well, tell them what you got yesterday.
Oh, I'm not.
Oh,
that's a secret.
I know why.
That's a secret. You guys will know later, but
there's something coming.
Yeah, someone coming. A little late, but they're coming. That's all I'll say. No, late. It's already passed.
But it's coming up again.
April's passed, so that's all I'll say about that. So we get some strange things, and just like this thing I showed you.
That was it. CPR.
That mannequin, the intubation mannequin.
Yes, that thing.
But you guys, we showed it to them, didn't we? Yeah. And
that's probably the strangest thing. I mean, there's things we've seen that we don't resell that came in maybe some liquidation boxes.
Oh yeah.
And we just immediately
of the adult origin.
And
one was sealed brand new, and I shipped it to my high school best friend. So
yeah, that was
he enjoyed that when he got it. Yeah, that was pretty funny. And that is a true story. I absolutely did that. Silver Hair Stacker says, howdy, thanks for being here, Todd, aka Larry. Appreciate it. Morning Minions, thanks. Actually, the Disgruntled Octopus says morning Minions. Sorry. Rosie Games says, hi, John and Jenna. Hope you are both having a great week. Glad to hear sales are keeping you busy. How are things, Jenna?
Things are great.
All right. Never mind me. I won't tell you how it's going with me. LSGS Rob says, how's it going, Johnny? How have the sales been despite what all the people say on the board? Sales are great. Will continue to be great since I'm selling merchandise people want and that sell fast. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing. We're making sales. I picked up a literally brand new in the box. I mean, it was open box, but all the components on the inside were sealed. It's an Epson thermal receipt printer for like businesses or whatever that connects to like Stripe or whatever Square. And listed it last night, $100 plus shipping. Boom, gone this morning. In fact, I had someone buy it overnight and then it had a cancellation request. When I woke up, I accepted the cancellation request, and then within an hour it sold.
And still went out this morning.
And maybe, and again, I guess the thought process behind that is, well, you probably had it priced a little too low. But it's a 15x flip, very fast, and very happy to do that. We had sold 36 of the baseball, one case, basically. They come pre-packed in the 36 count box of the baseball.
I thought it was just one
Yeah.
that sold. I didn't read the quantity.
Yeah, so she
So I
packed me up
packaged it up.
one baseball case, and there's
And he
36.
comes in and he says, there's supposed to be 36. And I'm like, what?
And we sold a misting system, so it was the right time of year for that. Sold a Peloton tray, so if you have one of those Peloton machines, you want to like put your drink
Like
somewhere,
a laptop.
or laptop, you can just pop that thing right on. So yeah, these are just examples of some of the things that we've sold over the last day. You know, dealing with gardening tools like Black and Decker stuff, a lot of things for folks that have like special needs or that type of thing. You know, a windscreen for a Honda Goldwing, so a
Motorcycle.
Yeah, motorcycle. I mean, we just get the most random. I sold a bassinet. So, I mean, it's all over the place, right?
The spectrum is wide, y'all.
But I don't care. So for me, it's like, look, if you sell in a niche, then hey, that works for you. If it makes you happy, I'm sure happiness is part of the motivation to continue doing what you do. But for me, the motivation is making the sales. I don't care
Money.
what it is, unless it's just
Making the
inappropriate altogether. And I'll send that to my friend from high school. Other than that, it's the way to make money. It's a way to make it work. And this life is not easy, but I can tell you it's easier than getting up, working a 9 to 5, driving in traffic, dressing up every day,
answering to a boss.
Yeah. You know, asking if I can go home early because I don't feel well, or something's going on, or trying to figure that whole situation out. And as a reseller, we have, or just go look, it's summertime. Let's go have fun with the family. You can make the schedule work for you, and you don't have anyone to answer to but yourself or your checkbook. And you just make sure that that's taken care of. And this is a great business. So it almost makes me feel, even though I was in management for 10 to 11 years, the last 10, 11 years before our office closed, it almost makes me kind of wish, and this is just for me, don't take this as an excuse to do it. It almost makes me wish I did this sooner to make the jump to selling, you know, on eBay. But it's been a road, I'll tell you that. But I don't want that to be what makes you decide, I'm going to quit my, you know, my daytime job. If you have a decent job with benefits, keep it.
Yeah.
We didn't really have that option. So
we didn't have that option at all.
Devon says both leaving for Montana for 8 days.
Montana, I want to go to Montana.
Yeah. I've been to Montana. I mean, it's Montana. It's Montana. I guess
want to go to Montana. I just want to be in nature.
Yeah. Well, I was in Montana in Billings, so I guess that's kind of why I'm soured on Montana. But it wasn't special when I was there.
Well,
so.
I can make it special.
Okay, well, you do that. PTS Treasure says my chargeback from last chat got resolved. Customer's eBay account closed.
Whoa, that's a win.
There you go.
Good job.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like hearing stories like that. Trade with Cade says, greetings from Los Angeles. Well, thanks for being here. Awesome.
LA.
We'll be in Los Angeles.
We'll be in LA in 1 week.
Yeah. I'm going to check out. They have some good eateries in Burbank. The name fails me again.
Oh, God. Every time
we are going there.
We always forget what it is.
Yeah. But, man, that's something
I got to tell Kelly.
What's
the name of it?
Geez, I don't know. I don't remember. I've named it before on this channel.
I know. We try it every time.
I'm sure that's helped their business tremendously, but I doubt it. Huh?
I gotta.
Yeah, we're definitely going there.
I have to do things right when it's on my mind, or I will forget.
Now, Jen and I had a little debate, and I'll share it with you. I have an eye doctor that I've been seeing for the last 20 years to get my eyes taken care of. And this guy knows my chart like the back of his hand and says, yeah, you know, your eyes over the years have been doing this, that, and the other thing. And so they're in California. So I'm like, okay, we've got to go early. I'm going to give me some contacts. I got to go to this guy, you know, because I don't want a new person out here to see me. And she's like, oh, it's going to add a lot of time to our travel. And I'm like,
it is. It's like going to Southern California, Southern California, and then having to get back on the freeway and go up north to LA.
Yeah.
and it's, North Hollywood, so it's not like it's, right in LA.
This is a one-time thing. And, for me, well,
But
it'll
if
happen
you're
again in
from
2 years.
California, you know that the Friday night or even Friday afternoon traffic in California on the 60, the 215, the 91, the 60, all of those freeways.
Coming from LA coming from
disaster.
LA east is a disaster. It's not great, but if you're going towards LA, you're not up against the same kind of traffic who's leaving.
But
LA.
they're still bumper to bumper sitting in traffic.
Oh, I know that. You get the same result.
And after you've been in a car for that long,
well,
nobody wants to be sitting in it.
Good news. We'll be at the eye doctor, and you can walk around, stretch all you want.
Walk around where? They're in a building that's all by themselves.
Walk outside. But all I know is that's our little that's the kind of little disputes that we have. It's like, okay.
I
so
just
we'll
don't
just have
see
to
why
figure
he
it out.
can't just.
I don't want somebody pawing at my eyes and having me go through 30.
Nobody even touches your eyes nowadays. It's all done with machines.
And then they're going to go through 30 tests to figure out what this eye doctor already knows about me. So that's my point. So that is what it is. So Rosie says, camera, so far, so good. Awesome. I'm glad that you guys think the camera's better now. Steve says, after having to go full-time on eBay, I'm new, top-rated due to all the help from this channel and our wonderful hosts. Well, awesome.
Aww.
That is awesome. Now,
so nice of you, Steve.
The key is to just maintain it. Maintain all your metrics. Don't have any lates. Lates once in a while are fine, but it's a ratio. So if you have a lot of stuff you're selling, you have more leeway than someone who doesn't sell that much. So just keep that going. MJHW Collector says, does toy sales also slow down in summer, first year selling full time? I don't know. I'm sure that's a question that someone else can answer.
I guess it depends on what type of toys. Like water toys sell very well in the summer.
Seasonal or in demand, maybe stuff that just got released.
New toys, new toys would probably sell fine.
Yeah, but there's always going to be a need or a want whenever someone wants a certain toy.
So he's got a birthday party, or
But Q4 is generally where toys do the best because that's when people are buying, of course, Christmas presents and things like that. So get them listed, and then we'll get there.
No,
get them listed,
and too late.
You know what? Here's the thing.
Yes,
I'm glad you don't do this to me. I'm glad you don't do this to me with movies because it's like, oh yeah, this is.
Todd says, pawing at the eyes, John's Native American name.
Wow.
Yeah, he's constantly pawing at my eyes, and it's not even pawing, it's clawing.
Yeah. No One Design 2 says, got a possible glitch maybe, as sellers have 5 chances to make offers and counter offers, but yesterday, I think they only have 4. But counter offers, but yesterday and today, the offer chance is reduced to 2. Now, eBay told us to clear history, cache, but nothing. Yeah, what you need to tell eBay is they need to clear their cache, but try to troubleshoot on their end. But I haven't seen that. It's only 4. So usually it'll say buyer has 4 chances or whatever, or maybe you're counting the first one, but I just let them, time out. I mean, really, they get 3 strikes with me. If it's reduced to 2, well, then let them strike out after the last one.
They strike out really quick with me.
Yeah.
I don't have no patience.
Because my answer doesn't change. I'm not in the haggling game. What I do is I simply go in and say, I leave this message. I try to figure out what's the lowest I can go here. And so I figure out what the lowest I can go or what I'm willing to go. And I tell them, here's the amount that I'm willing to go. Due to all these factors, fees, shipping, whatever, this is the best I can do. And let me know if it works out, whatever. And then you send the offer, and then they come back with, like, they're trying to negotiate with you. And I give the same answer. I said, please understand, I'm not one of these sellers that will play the haggle game. This is literally the best that I'm going to be able to do for you. And so then I think a lot of them realize that the little game of what they play on, Poshmark doesn't work with me. And they either decline or they accept the offer. Yeah. Let's see. I got to get to Mark here. Just let you know, the new cam is working great. Awesome.
I can tell it's very clear.
Yeah, you can see all my wrinkles now. It's
I
awesome.
know, and you. That's why I'm like, oh my God, I need to do my makeup differently now.
Yeah. LSGS Rob says, here's my thing for the people that complain about sales. Unless your traffic is down a tremendous amount, then it's most likely not eBay. My traffic is always consistent, but my sales aren't. Yeah, I see that too. My traffic is fairly consistent for the size store that I have. And you really can't say, I mean, some people out there probably think, well, what's a good traffic number? It really depends. Depends on what you're selling, depends on how many items that you have listed. But you can gauge over time if you're maintaining a certain level or size store, selling the same type of items or same range of items like we do, that, well, this day didn't have a lot of traffic, this one did. But for me, it's usually pretty much the same traffic. Let's see. Picky Ricky purchased 72 Matchbox cars, 8 Mario Kart Hot Wheels, 6 Monopoly Grab and Goes, and 12 packs of playing cards this week, all brand new. Awesome. And I don't know what you're making out of those, but I hope, even though they're brand new, you were able to get them cheap, because it doesn't seem like, in just the back of my mind, unless they're vintage or something like that, that you're going to get a whole lot per item on those. But
well, it depends on what, if
it depends on what they are, and
yeah,
what the sold comps
they could
are.
be good sellers for all we know. We don't sell toys, and I will not.
I know, like on some of the Hot Wheels, you got like the Black Series or
Yeah.
whatever, and that kind of thing.
Well, that's like our granddaughter. She loves Hot Wheels, and her dad will buy her a Hot Wheel at the grocery store of all places every time he goes to the grocery store. So she has quite the collection already.
Key is not to open them. And then what kid gets this toy and doesn't open it?
I mean, she's 5.
If I could go back to being a kid, I would, knowing what I do now, I would buy 2 of the same. I would buy 1 to play with and 1 to put away. Yeah. Right. But who am I? Let's see. Devin says, I don't like putting my store on vacation mode, but eBay has gotten strict about shipping. Yeah. You don't want to be late in your shipping metrics. And for me, like, they don't count the weekends and they don't count the holidays. So like doing a Friday, come back Sunday night kind of thing isn't going to hurt me in one way, shape, or form when it comes to that. But if I was gone, like if I was going to Montana for 8 days, that would be a challenge, because I don't like using vacation mode. I will then change my handling time to 5+ days, and then let it be every day. I'll get in there, do a mass edit on my policies, and I'll go in and make it 4 days, then 3 days, then 2 days, then 1 day. And then when I get home, it's back the same day. So that's just the way I handle it. Kyle B says, same. I'm up 200% almost every month this year. What I've been doing, listing more every week, trying to get my total store value up. Yep. It's like the algo kicked in and realized I'm pumping in inventory. Right.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they know the amount of volume you're putting in. And if it's an increase, good stuff, right? They give you more traffic to your listings. I think I believe that it all falls into account health and where you're showing up in best match search. And that's all kind of figured into the equation. We talk about all these different things, and that's just one other thing that I think that eBay really considers when comparing all these listings to one another. Kyle says, I have friends that follow my items and they get random notification reminders to buy it. Maybe those get sent out based on how much you're listing. No, I don't think that's it. I think it's based on how often that someone's looking at a particular item. So if you are looking at a particular seller or their items, eBay is going to think that you're interested, and they're going to try to get you on that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't mind eBay, giving people a heads up that, hey, you might want to buy this. LSGS Rob says, I'm always averaging what I want or more. And so far this year, I'm way up over last. eBay is not the issue. They don't shut down. They don't block your listings. Do better. I agree with that. I just think that the market changes. The market isn't the same as what it was back in 2019, or actually 2020, when everyone got all that free money. You remember that free money that hit the bank account? We're talking thousands of dollars. Some people really needed it, and other people, they use that as expendable income. And, 2020 was a really good year for many, many resellers selling just anything. But it's not quite the same market nowadays. And I think a lot of sellers that started back in 2020 remember how great it was. And they're expecting the same thing to kind of happen. And it ain't there. So you got to find, this is why I was talking to, and I won't say his name, but I was talking to a viewer who's probably watching this after the fact, but going over through a store. And it was a lot of this kind of stuff that I talk about. You got to be willing to look for other things. If this type of stuff isn't selling and you're following all the guidelines you're supposed to follow. Now, of course, I don't think this person promotes. I think that's a big part of the equation. I think that's a big part of it now with eBay. And yes, you can sell items that aren't promoted, but you better be at the lowest price, because eBay is certainly not going to do your items any favors in a best match search. I can tell you that. And if you're on page 3, good luck getting the sale. Someone want to know, LSGS Robinson want to know if that's a chastity belt. I almost thought it was like one of those WWE belts, but it didn't fit. Let's see.
I think they
Piggy
go
Ricky
across the horse's chest.
Yeah, it goes across her chest, and there's like, my buddy that he works on a ranch. He actually runs the whole ranch for Ruidoso. There's a couple owners that he works with up at Ruidoso, New Mexico. That's where they have the quarter horses, and they have a full meat and everything out there. And he trains those horses. And he's the guy I go to. Hey, what in the heck am I looking here? And he'll tell me exactly what it is. So I'd still be searching for an answer if I didn't have him as a resource. Jerry says, hello, everyone. Thanks for being here, Jerry. Kyle says the last few weeks might have been busy because it was Father's Day. You're like maybe getting gifts for fathers and stuff, but no one's buying toilet seats though for their father. That's an odd
you
gift
never
for Father's
know.
Day.
Maybe 90-year-old dad is needing something.
Yeah, hey Dad. I didn't know instead of underwear this year, I got you a toilet seat. How about that? I don't know.
Sometimes things are hard.
And I'd be like, what are you trying to say?
As you get older, you don't get the gifts you want. You get the gifts you need.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That's a little TMI. I guess I'm not sharing that information enough with my kids. I don't know.
They would never know.
Yeah. Well, I don't need a toilet seat. Otherwise, I'd tell you how good they were. But no, I don't need one of those elevated toilet seats.
Not yet.
With wheels. Some have wheels. Some don't. So
some are transfer seats.
It's like, so with the wheels, with the toilet seat, are you like living on the riskier side? Just get on that seat and just like roll yourself to the bathroom.
Okay. So
I don't know. I've always wondered about why there's a need to have wheels on a toilet seat, but no, that's another video, I guess. No One Design 2 says, John, just put horse furries in the title and you will sell that chastity belt. I think you'd be the first person to try to click on it and buy it if I did that. Henri Squaw says, I found an item up for auction, and when I researched with my private investigator skills is worth bank. I'm hoping to pounce on it as the auction ends.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like, and really it's not ideal. I mean, I knew that I bought horse stuff before. I knew that it's like $3 for this is cheap. No matter, when I get the answer, I know I'll be able to flip it for a lot more than 10x. It's gonna be more like $100. So it's gonna be like 20 something X. And I didn't need to go into full PI private investigator mode at the time I bought it. But now that I have it, normally I'd be able to do a Google Lens, or, I even know the manufacturer's name. I can't even find this same one. So
I bet you let me see if I can find it.
All right.
And
tell you what, I'll let you list it on the other account.
I'm a really good private investigator.
I'll let you list it on the other account. How about that? Picky Ricky says, June's been hard for me this year, but my listing has been interrupted. So what is interrupting your listing? So I'm wondering that, because that was another thing that I was thinking about is distractions. And I guess having great weather can be distracting. You're more willing to do things where bad weather, you're home working. I think right now, if you're listing, maybe this is distracting. The whole YouTube thing is distracting. and maybe that's the cause of the interruption. I don't know. Devon says, I sold more last year, but my API is higher this year. Eviction?
Yeah, that's what's causing him.
Oh, okay. So things in life happen. I mean, health, family, medical, things that happen that, we just really can't. It's really tough to deal with. But, the only advice I can give you is, keep your head up. It's things like that motivate me, because I just want to make sure that, I'm not finding myself in a bad spot. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who resell because they have to, not because they want to. And for that reason, it's really a good idea to really find something that's going to start making. I mean, look, I guess if you maybe do this part-time and you have a full-time job, I guess finding the small stuff to flip, whether it gets me, $2 turns into 10, all day long, I guess that's okay, right? But for me, it's extra work. And honestly, I'd rather list 5 to 10 a day where I'm making like I have 500 in sales today and the day's not even over yet. So it's finding that, and not everyone's going to be able to do it. I realize it, but how many people are actually really being honest with themselves? How many people have actually really explored that, finding other stuff to sell? Are we just falling back on, well, I'm doing everything they tell me to do with the listings, and I've even promoted a little bit and I'm still not getting sales, but you haven't changed what you're selling. Yeah. Victor says, I spent countless hours doing research. I'm a full-time antique and collectible dealer since 1985. You have to know what you're selling. Yeah, you have to know what you're selling, but, well, okay, I take that back. You say you have to know what you're selling, and I think that can help you maybe prevent you from making mistakes that someone who doesn't know what they're selling would make. But I can go in, and if I come across that stuff, I find sold comps for the same things that you're selling, I can sell it just as well as a niche seller can, if I have that information. Now, like for instance, the military patches that I promised never to talk about again, but I am talking about them now. I didn't know squat about it, but I put them up on auction, let the market take care of it. Yes, people got things cheaper than you probably would have been able to list it for, but I was still able to make sales. And but back to what you said, if you know about it, you can probably avoid the whole auction thing. You can figure out what the real values are. I'm not arguing against niches. I think they're a great thing. But if you have the constant sourcing of that particular type of item, that's when you should niche. If you don't have a dedicated source, it doesn't make any sense to go out and buy a bunch of clothing and to list it. And then now you're relying on yard sales or other places to get the clothing when the person you bought it from, it isn't around anymore, if that makes sense. Let's see what we have here. No one designs agenda, just a heads up. Don't let John dupe up to put belt on tonight. Just saying. Don't let John dupe up to put belt on tonight.
I get it. I get whatever he's saying. I get it.
Devon says, or is it Devon or Devon?
Devon.
Devon says, John is so close to 20K subs. Please hit the thumbs up, but also subscribe. Honestly, I think this is the same for most channels. We kind of hit on it last time we spoke, but generally most channels only get like, sure, I'd say 30% of their viewers subscribe. And I guess the thought process was, well, what if everyone subscribed then, but not everyone knows about this channel. So by hitting that thumbs up, there's, for instance, only 20,000 subs on this channel. You go to Harry Tornado, he's got over 300,000. So there's 280 plus thousand people that either don't know about this channel and or haven't subscribed. So there's a lot of folks out there who actually do like this type of content. Biff says, the real question is, how can you not compare this year to last? Still up 22.7% despite off and on trouble since April. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some people just don't. They don't care.
Last year
they just want to know that the money's coming in.
I mean, I was still trying to buy liquidation lots, liquidation boxes, the 20 box lots from Amazon where you didn't have a clue as to what you're getting, and I guess there's an element of fun in that where you're getting, you could get a home run and most of the time you're not, but, and the prices seem to be right. But honestly, I mean, I wish I had this sourcing available to me,
22
last year.
sucked.
It did suck.
It sucked bad.
Tommy says, wow, why did you just block and move on? I'm sure you meant
for Sandra.
Yeah, but why don't you just block?
Why don't you?
Yeah. Jerry says, I just started my store back up in October after several years of being gone from eBay, so I don't have a lot to compare to yet. Right. But the thing is, if you've done this before, so you have a general idea what sales were in the past, how much money you were probably bringing in on a weekly basis, and you compare now, are you making the same sort of level of money that you were before, based on your recollection, and then make adjustments off of that type of thing. But I think just the numbers sometimes can confirm what we already know. Let's see. Nature Made in Utah signed up for the dynamic ad campaign. What are your thoughts on that? I was going to do some research into that. From what I understand, dynamic is one of those things where you have okay, if the suggested is 5% for an item, which we know that's rare, it's usually closer to 9. You can say, I want 9% plus like a certain percentage above that. That's what I think. I don't know, because I haven't done the research in that. But to me, I'm going to just do item per item. Every time I list an item, I'm going to assign for me, it's the recommended rate as long as it's not over 10%, and go with it. That's how I do it. That's how I roll. So, because some items you don't need to promote that high. I mean, look, there are some items that maybe the recommended is only 5. So if you're doing a higher rate like 10%, then it's kind of overkill, I think. Callie Deb says, hi everyone, thanks for being here.
Callie Debs.
Dixie Flipper says, looking at my numbers from last year in June, and it looks like I doubled my sales the second year of doing eBay for me. So there you go.
That's awesome.
You're improving, and Michael, I think you're on the right track. Yeah. So wondering how those shoes are selling.
Yeah,
for you.
how's the shoes going? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, he came by and picked up months ago. I came by and picked up a lot of those shoes,
boots,
those size 2 girls shoes that we had, and we still have some left that we have on Posh. We took them off of eBay to kind of give Michael a chance to not have someone to compete against there. Jeff Zenick says, hi John and Jenna, folks, thanks for being here. Andy says he's in the house, so thanks for being here.
In the house.
Tommy says, that's why I don't read and respond to 99% of the messages. Most have the IQ of 12. I wonder what this person would have done if you would have responded. Would they just, left and moved on to the next person to try to mess with? I'm sure this person is serious about not liking having that stuff on sale on eBay, but at the end of the day, if you reply and continue to reply back to this person, you're just kind of creating the conversation, and maybe it's time to not only block, but to just move on. And, if you take it down, it's the same thing as eBay taking it down, if they take it down. So just keep selling it. That's my advice to you on that. Tommy says, one person reporting isn't going to get an item removed. But I don't know what the ramifications.
Why would you want to take the chance either?
Well, there's not really a chance. If you're removing it, it's the same as it getting removed by eBay.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Move on. Keep it. Maybe discount it so you can get move it a little bit faster. But I wouldn't let one person deter you from selling it.
Yeah.
No one designs to just block and move on, because then that person is blocked. They can't see your item in the store, and they'll think you removed it. There you go.
But you said that you can't block them and they still see it.
Okay, you can't block them from not talking to you, so they can reply, but they can reply back to you. You've already started the conversation. What I'm saying is, it's my understanding that if you block someone, they can see it, they can't buy it. So if you go in and that person's blocked, I've had people that have sent me messages saying, I was trying to buy your item, but it shows me that you're blocked, that I'm blocked. And I had one guy try to tell me, can you put me on the exception? There's an exception
Yeah.
list where you can put that person on to buy. And I had to enter in a dialogue. Well, why didn't you, what happened last time? And they said, oh, my kid got, a hold of my account and was buying stuff. So I let them buy it that one time. I made an exception for them. So they can see your stuff. They can see your items. They can see that it's still there, but they're not, because they haven't bought from you. They can't initiate contact. Now, I don't know if, because the conversation's already happening, if they can piggyback off of that conversation and send you a reply. But I do know that they can see it. And there's a report you can actually go to in your account to show how many people have been declined from buying your item because they're on your block list.
I would just hope that eBay could broaden to make it very plain and clear and simple that if you block somebody, that means no more messages. They can't see your store, just like on Posh or even on any other platform. They just go away.
Christine Moses says, if you know what area or Native American tribe, reach out to Museum or Historical Society to authenticate, many times with photos. But unless they're willing to say, okay, we'll send you a certificate for that, which I don't think there's anyone that would do that, especially if they can't put their hands on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to work. And then Tommy says, I wouldn't call eBay and bring attention to any items personally. But I just would want to know, as a seller, what are your rights? What are you allowed to sell? Does this fall into the first sales doctrine type thing? Daniel Lesage from Baton Rouge says, hi, John and Jenna. Enjoy your next weekend. The soul needs a break from the daily routine. Allowing it to refresh is a good thing.
Yes, I cannot wait.
Problem is, I don't take a break. I'm always thinking about it, working on it. So
maybe I'll take his phone.
No, you can't do that. I got to be able to reply and do stuff. Got to reply to offers.
You can have it for 2 hours a day, and then I take it away.
Tribe Time says, John, what are your thoughts about Whatnot and YouTubers acting like it's the next best thing? I found it funny. One YouTuber's super excited, selling 75 items, ASP of $550, took 12 hours.
Wow.
Wow.
Juice ain't worth the squeeze, y'all.
So 75 items at $550, so you're looking at like $230 ish. So they made about $2 an hour. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I strive for $2 an hour. Look, my thoughts on this are, it's a quick way to flip. So it's a business model for some. So some will go out and spend $100. They'll flip it into 500. They'll do that every day. They made 400 a day. There is work involved. You got to set up the stream. You got to work the stream. You got to get the stuff. All right, that's 75 items they have to ship. That stuff doesn't ship themselves. So it's all work. I would rather just take that work and put it on eBay, sell the same amount of money worth of items every day. And it's just a different business model. But I don't know. I just think there are some YouTubers that do it because they have to. They can't sell on eBay. I think there's some that find it easier than listing. And I don't know what it is. What is this thing about? Now, I ask you, but I ask anyone, what is the problem with listing? Why is that the most hated thing to do on eBay? Why is it that people have piles of stuff that's unlisted in their garage or whatever, and they had a great time buying it? Well, okay, why not list it? Why not sit down, get the work done? And I think that's part of the problem of slow sales, just in general, not summer. Maybe the summer, it makes it harder to sit down and do that chore that people hate. But
some people love listing. But it's not my.
I don't know anyone who loves listing.
No, I mean, there's some people that do love listing. They like to sit down and just list. Me, I'm gonna take pictures, do the shipping, clean the shoe type of gal. I hate listing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think that if you can find a way to get past your disdain for listing, I think you're going to make more money on this platform.
Believe me, he says it to me every day.
I say it to you every day, yeah. But while I'm listing, so it's like, get in here and list. Tommy says, someone told me about that. Evidently, the same person cries about how bad their eBay is every video. And like I said, I think it's because it's easier to, like for instance, there's a lot of eBayers who gravitate to YouTube and become YouTubers, and they're more YouTuber than eBayer. Mm-hmm. And it's because they enjoy it more than they enjoy the listing part. Why is this camera like focusing like that? That's weird. So for me, it's just, I don't know. I guess it's for the viewer to decide, but I don't know. It's just hard for me to want to follow. And I don't know too many that are like that. I think most YouTubers that I watch, at least, don't seem to have a problem with the listing part of it.
Yeah, because we weeded out all the ones we don't need to watch anymore.
Luba Chepekova.
Just Luba.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good news for those who sell on Mercari. 4 to 6 labels, no more print and tape. Yeah, Ed's not here. Ed, the reselling writer, put out a little video on it, but you can do 4x6 labels now, and you don't have to play the game of trying to make it work with your thermal printer. So that's good. Now I just got to get a sale on Mercari. We got to get more stuff on there. We just haven't cross-posted in a little bit.
Yeah, I want it. I swear to God, I am going to weed out hot desert deals. And I keep saying it, but I told him yesterday, we need to go in and just purge the store and put it in some liquidation boxes and put it up on Facebook Marketplace and be done with it.
I don't normally do this, but we have a 40% off sale on our records on hot desert deals.
I'm not so much meaning the records. I'm talking about the other crap.
Well, we just got to go through that and get.
Eventually, it would open up space in the garage. Yes. It would open up space for listings.
Yeah, it's something we're going to do. It's something we're going to do.
Because it's not exciting. That store is just...
It isn't. And the fact is, April, eBay got ahead of me and renewed my yearly subscription with them. So now for that store, I'm like, crap. Oh. The idea was to shut it down. So, it's something we're going to do. And I guess if anything, just clear out the stuff that's not really selling, maybe blow it out or whatever. And just make room, because I'm every day I go pick up new stuff. I'm just looking for creative ways to make room. I'm playing Tetris every day just to get the stuff it's in the garage where I can still walk through it. And it's somewhat frustrating. I mean, that's a frustrating thing about it, but I know it sells, and I want to kind of gravitate and reclaim my space for more of that kind of stuff.
Funny story. So I was trying to go through and find all the rest of the shoes that we had. And because we have totes that are stacked and I can't get to them because they're too heavy. John tells me they're all gone. They're all done. We have no more shoes to list. I'm like,
I think I told you guys that.
No, I think there's like 2 more totes. And he's like, I went through the totes. There are no more. And I'm like, I know there are, but I'm going to let him have his day. So when he goes to organize that corner, he's going to find the shoes. Sure as he found them.
I found 3 totes. 3 huge totes.
Huge totes. These aren't just the little, the little totes. These are the big giant totes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wanted to murder him.
Yeah, but we moved them. We moved the totes into the living room, so now she wants them out of the living room. So that'll give her motivation to get it listed.
It's motivating because I do not like product in my living room.
And now there's no space for that tote, so she can't put it back because I've utilized that space for the new product.
Oh no, that tote will go somewhere.
It'll go somewhere, but once it's empty. Sarah says, I'm from New Mexico originally, and you're correct. There's no such letter that comes with pieces you buy in a normal setting.
Yeah.
Yep, that's correct. Victor Wawiorka says we cannot put Black Americana in the title or to be pulled by eBay. The funny thing is, eBay used to have a Black Americana as a category.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And unfortunately, my whole thing is history is just that. I mean, you can't erase it. I mean, people try to rewrite it all the time, but history is history.
Reread it.
History is history. And, there's people out there there's a market for history, and Native American stuff, Black Americana, all that stuff is history. And why they don't allow the sale of that stuff because a few people get offended is beyond me. I don't know. Especially when it's not an offensive thing. If it's an offensive thing, then yes, I can see that. Yeah. But if it's not an offensive thing, then it shouldn't be counted. Kyle B says, I did some searching yesterday and my listings are showing up on other sellers' items down below their photos. The weird thing is they're shown for weird item specifics I entered. Interesting.
That's interesting.
Leonard says, under the Indian Arts Crafts Act, any item described as Alaska Native American Indian or Native American must be made by an enrolled member of a state or federally recognized tribe or by someone certified as an Indian artisan by a recognized Indian tribe. But I don't know if there's necessarily maybe that person's trying to say there's an authenticity problem, but they just don't want it. I think it's more they just don't want it sold more than it's not authentic.
But I mean,
I don't know.
It's got to be sold somewhere. I just don't understand why people need to be so anal.
We've got Kevin Hawthorne in the house. Good evening. He's failed to disclose his location today, so I don't know where he's at.
He's gone into hiding.
I'm wondering if he's still in Lakeland, Florida, though. Thanks for being here, Kevin. Let's see. Biff says, when I used to list any item that had Indian in the title, such as Indian Wells, California, I used to get a warning from eBay about the act that has been mentioned. It's these bots. I mean, these bots. You talk about artificial intelligence.
Everybody wants to be so politically correct that it's now trickling into our businesses.
But the thing is, we want to talk about artificial intelligence. How intelligent is that?
Yeah.
It's not very intelligent at all. Jerry says, we can all agree to disagree. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
And that's what's good about this community. I mean, a lot of times I say something, someone doesn't agree. We can, talk about it, and no one's going to get offended and ticked off and, call names or anything like that. That's the good thing about this that we have going on here. Nature Made in Utah says, tried offering free shipping to make more sales. Had an opposite effect. Sales went completely dead. My cheap stuff just isn't worth jacking up the prices. Yeah. We tried that little.
We tried the hack where we did free returns, and it didn't do nothing.
But see, you can do all that you want if you still have crap. You're just putting lipstick on the pig. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. You have crap. It's like our other store. And people get mad when I say this, but it's crap. And it's junk.
Sometimes you just have to admit that it's crap and do better.
Do better.
Do better.
That's the goal. The goal is ultimately, what are we here for? We're here to make money. And I think for many, including us on that second store, trying to make money on something that doesn't have a whole lot of value.
I don't want it, so why would anybody else want it?
Well, there's that saying: one person's junk is another person's treasure. But
how
far does that go?
Exactly.
Andy Reno says, I've got a lot of health and beauty cosmetic stuff. I'm going to lot up in mystery boxes and post them. Wondering,
that's a good idea. People buy those.
But I'm wondering if people would actually buy those not knowing. I don't know.
They actually do. You'd be surprised.
Maybe we should do that. Mystery box on the other account. You get random.
Ours is
random stuff.
They would report us to eBay. They sold me trash.
James Holloway says, how many views should a small eBay store get a day? 500 items. It's hard to say. I mean, I don't really care so much about the impressions so much. I mean, like for me, I have a 250-ish item store and I get about 75,000 impressions is about what I get. But that's not going to be the same for someone else. So it's really hard to say. There's so many intangibles in there that we don't know about. What are you selling? Are you selling clothing? Are you selling high-end electronics? That type of thing. You're going to get two different numbers with the same 500 item store just based on what you're selling. Sylvia says, I've been approved for whatnot and did for 1 hour. I'm just very shy to do it. Yeah. Some people just don't want to be talking in the camera. Remember, you're talking to a bunch of strangers.
And you have to say the same thing over and over and over again and continue on. I don't have the patience for that.
Got Bonnie Brink says, gardening sis says, hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. My sales are steady. Yay.
Well,
that's
hello,
awesome.
Bonnie.
Well, tell gardening sis we said hello.
That is gardening sis.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't know if that is or not.
Maybe it's an alter ego.
Jose Villa says, when I pick an item to release, I go to schedule your listing. I pick the date, 8 p.m. It's like 3 hours off. It starts at 11 p.m. Don't know what PDT stands for. Pacific Daylight Time. So you're probably on the East Coast. So eBay is based in California. So but to me, because I'm on the West Coast, I don't have that issue. It's the same time zone. So I didn't know that was even a thing. As far as East Coast folks are seeing it at 8, but it really goes at 11. That is not surprising, because I can tell you at the railroad, when I worked at Amtrak, our system was based on Pacific time, which, makes sense. But
it really made it sucky for daylight savings time.
Yeah. Tom Bernard says, not everyone, but the average seller on Whatnot is too lazy to list or pushing off their bad buys. Not worth listing. Great business model. Yeah, but it works.
Tommy's positivity.
Yard sale steals 300. People with big followings love it. One asked to choose between eBay and Whatnot, would choose Whatnot hands down. Big followings for sure, because you can move stuff, and it's a numbers game. I mean, if you have 1,000 people watching your stream on Whatnot, you're going to do more with the same stuff than someone with 100.
Right.
And of course,
that's what I'm saying. You have to have a following.
Yeah.
You have to. It's like Poshmark on crack.
Yeah. And Linda has a question that I've had for the longest time. Why do so many people get hit with a Vero and other people have the same items up and nothing happens?
Oh, that is infuriating.
I know.
Isn't it?
Well, in my case, I can tell you that I'm on some list in the back room, and whenever I put up something that's that catches these bots, they hit me within 10 minutes of listing it, and then try to tell me how Logitech, which is a large company, took time to write this letter, and they did it within 10 minutes, and we got it and processed it and took your listing down.
Yeah.
And if you want to dispute it, contact.
I call BS.
Yeah, contact Logitech. They're the one that sent the letter. No, they didn't. I just listed this 10 minutes ago, and you took it off.
Hey, wait, didn't we just sell? Wasn't that Cam Logitech?
Mm-hmm. Well, it was a Logitech keyboard that
I know, but Logitech.
Well, remember, I have all my international returns off. So I had my international returns on, and they said that I can't sell that item to Europe. So
true, but
that's why they took it down.
Neither here nor there.
Drain the Swamp says, sales could be up for the month because I haven't listed in a year and sales have been better this month. Well, that'll usually do it.
That usually does it.
That'll usually do it. Christy Myers says, what are some tips for getting free shipping materials? Well, I don't really, we buy all the materials we get. I mean, you can.
They're hard to come by. Go to Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace, offer up. We ended up getting as much as we wanted by the flat, different size Uline boxes this warehouse was giving away. I could have went back and got more, but I didn't have really anywhere to put it. Limited space. So you can. There's people who go behind like a supermarket and get the boxes that are there, that type of thing.
Like a strip mall where they have like Ulta or Ross or whatever, and they have boxes in the back. But honestly, Facebook Marketplace, if we've ever needed anything, like boxes for free, then that's where I'd go. But as far as other types of materials, you don't really get anything for free anymore.
Yeah. And then Liz is saying, I'm liquidating my store at 60% off, getting rid of things, but buy smarter and sell faster. That's kind of what we're doing now.
That's what we're doing.
But we have a lot of stuff that I went in and did an end item sell similar for that store and lowered some prices. But, at the end of the day, that stuff's just not moving. It's time to get creative, maybe lot it out, or maybe have a yard sale. And, if I'm allowing a $20-something store subscription that I'm paying eBay to allow me to keep that thing open when nothing's real. I mean, I can't say nothing. I mean, I think we made like $1,200 last month on that store in sales. So, operating about a 50% margin. So we made like $500 or $600. So I guess it's worth, keeping open, but we just got to get creative because I do want to see that stuff move a little bit faster than it is.
I'm tired of looking at it.
Yeah. Morty the One says sealed PC big box games from the 80s and 90s are great for ASP highs. Sold Mac version of Quake 2 for $200, paid $5 for it.
Wow, that's great.
If you can find it, that's the key. If
that's
if
what yard sales and garage sales are for.
Yeah, I believe Craigslist Hunter came across a lot of that sealed stuff. That stuff can really do well.
Yep.
Liz says I sold a metal heavy boot decoration. It had seen much better times. I didn't think it would sell, and it did for good money. Eddie Estrada says, I mentioned during a call with eBay that my sales have dropped drastically since April. I was put on priority list and have noticed a slight bump in sales. Well, I just don't believe, maybe it's coincidental. I just don't believe that there's a list or a thing other than your metrics and your account health. Maybe your account health had some issues. I don't know. Maybe they did something, removed a flag from your account. I don't know. But your account health does have a bearing on your the whole algorithm where they rank your item. Let's see. During the swap says I got to keep my mouth shut at work. I quoted a $950 gas globe and a $1,950 Beatles album today. Nothing wrong with that. Oh yes, Callie Debs, your restaurant is Don Cuco's. How did you remember that?
You remember?
Wow.
Well, she's in California, I think.
Okay.
So I think she's in that because we did talk about the same restaurant on a live months ago, maybe last summer or something, because we wanted to go, or he wanted to go.
And the thing is, I'm the only one in the group that really thinks it's a really great restaurant, but
I think it's okay.
I'm just weird. But see, I'm like this. If they don't have a good salad, that kind of takes some of a star off for me. I'm just weird that way. I got to have salad like almost every time I go out to eat. And they have good chips and salsa. And then
we went
everything
back in
else
January because we went for McKinley's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met the kids there. Yeah. Yeah.
Jovial says, I think the horse chastity belt is a vintage English anatomic girth belly guard, protecting the horse's underside from its own shoes, hooves, and other objects while jumping. Could be wrong. Yeah, it is called an anatomic girth jumper. And
she's in Burbank. Okay.
Yeah, and anatomic girth jumper. And that's the way we're going to sell it, and I'm just going to put it up for like $100. Maybe I'm underpricing it, but I don't care. I'm going to make a 20-something X flip on that. So Sylvia says, sometimes I think of selling all my things, how I describe to see if someone else is interested. Well, I don't know if you'd be able to do that much on eBay. I mean, maybe you could put up a lot of all your stuff, but I don't know. I haven't thought of that. Kristen Valdman says, hey, I have a question. I have an eBay account from 2017. It was an active seller for the last year. I have really good reviews and top rated seller. However, suddenly out of nowhere, MC 011 hit me, then Vero for products they removed. And today they asked me for employee ID, maybe experience in the past and can share. So
what is MCO?
That's a suspension, I believe. I may be wrong on that, but the only time I really ever had anything like that was when my volume of stuff really went up in 2019. At some point, they thought I was actually a drop shipper. That was the insinuation. They sent me some BS email about drop shipping, and I knew my sales like flatlined, and I knew something was up. So I contacted them. And they said that my account was red flagged for being a drop shipper, and that I needed to send my invoices. And I sent them like 20 some odd different invoices for pallets that I purchased. So about 2 days later, my sales went back to normal. I haven't really had the MC011, but I was suspended back earlier this year for selling over-the-counter stuff that wasn't, and took them a day to get that back. Now, once you get your suspension lifted, they tell you, it can take you 48 hours to see a normalization of traffic and your listings back up. Forget that. End items sell similar for everything right away, and that helped me get sales that day. Let's see if I can kind of
Don
catch
got
up.
the
Where?
not Don. Go back up. I can't see. Todd. Todd got the cha-ching.
Oh, okay. That thumb thingy works. Yeah, hit the cha-ching or hit the like button and
The
get your cha-ching.
cha-ching.
It doesn't matter what your name really is. You're going to get a sale. Dre WRX, just FYI, no need to adjust handling time while in vacation mode. Time away. eBay auto adjust the delivery date and therefore handling time based on your projected return.
Yeah.
But they will tell the buyer, they'll tell the buyer little banner, say buyer's going to be away, blah, blah, blah. That can deter people.
It deters me.
Like, oh, I guess I'll go somewhere else. I don't want them to know I'm away. I want them to buy it and just say, and it doesn't even say, okay, 5 days handling. It'll just adjust that range by 5 days. So expect a delivery date from this date to that date. And that's a lot of times, I hate to say it, but we all know these buyers are avid readers, are they? And they're not going to see it. They're not going to even pay attention to that range of dates. They're just going to wonder, like, why haven't I received the tracking number? How many times have you had higher handling times and then like the next day the buyer's like, how come you haven't shipped this out yet? Well, if you would have seen the range, but I don't want them to know that I'm gone. Just want to think that it's business as usual.
Yeah.
PTS Treasures is meeting with a thrift store next week that wants to restart their eBay. It would be commission based. Anyone have any experience with this or any pitfalls to avoid? I don't know if I'd want to do that, but then again, depends on how much they're paying you. I don't know. I've never dealt with that, but again, you're working for someone else. You're taking the reseller entrepreneurial side of things out of it. And now someone's relying on you, expecting you, this, that, and the other thing. I don't know if I like that. But to each his own, right? I wish you all the best with that. But maybe someone has an answer for you. I just don't have that experience.
Hopefully, since you're so behind,
I'm always behind. Trade with Kate says, my father is a retired dentist. I still haven't found a good dentist to replace him. And it's been 5 years. So I know what you feel when you have someone you like. Friday traffic in SoCal will suck. But I think
I get why you do, why you have had a hard time, but this guy just doesn't like change. And he needs to get with the fact that we don't live in California anymore, and it's time to reestablish. It's well over time.
I'm not ready. You're dealing with my eyes here, and I don't want to have to go in and try.
Well, you're gonna have to eventually.
I'll make you a deal.
What happens when he retires?
Well, he's my age, so that's not for a while.
You don't know that.
So he knew my dad. We just.
I get that. I get it.
That's just the way it is.
But instead, he wants
next year we'll look into
sit in the car for an extra 2 to 3, 4 hours.
It won't be that bad.
I will report back to you guys.
Matt Jackson says, "Do you guys use Prime Lister?" Yes. I would say that you could use the link down below, but I haven't done that, and of course, I need to do better. I was kind of in a rush today, so I'm adding the link as we speak.
When are you not in a rush?
I am always in a rush, but Prime Lister, look, it's a good tool. I like to use it. You can go on, and they'll give you like 14 days free evaluation. I think they give you 100 items to go in and try out without a credit card, none necessary. And there's just some features they have that I haven't seen on the other ones. Maybe the other ones have simply added them since. But go and click. I have it set up now. I didn't even monetize this stupid live stream. That just shows you what I've been up to today. Just so busy. But yeah, we use Prime Lister. We do like it. Bell Resells. If you're a new reseller and are listing every day and nothing sells, stop listing and fix your listings instead. I started getting sales when I fixed my listings. I think there's a lot of, like I've said before, there's a lot of people that have a list it and forget it mentality, and they list it and they think that's all I was supposed to do. That's all these channels told me to do is get my 20 listings, 50 listings. But they rarely tell you that you should go back in and work on those listings, because not always are you going to get it right. You're not always going to get it, the title right. You're not always going to get the pricing right. So for me, that's a big part of the getting your items moved. Let's see. Someone said might be discontinued. I don't know what that's talking about, but maybe it's because I'm jumping in a conversation. Carl's in the house. I found 2 Lalique perfume bottles and I couldn't find anywhere. Friend found on auction site. I sold one with chip for 200. Mine are perfect. There you go.
Wow.
Nothing better than finding sold comps for stuff that's worse than what you have.
Those kind of finds.
Let's see. Bell Resells says, I'm trying to list 10 items a week that are worth over $50 profit. So I just listed my Fenton glass collection. It's too sad that it doesn't go for more. I have a really rare piece, but the market, the market just isn't there.
Yeah, don't let your emotion get too deep with it.
Tommy says, why are people still guessing at this point on promoted listings? Suggested is way above what the average for category is. Listing quality report is your friend. Yes. I like that report. I don't use it so much as, I probably should, but I need to go and check that out some more. But I look, whatever's it's working for me. I've got most items selling at 20x profit. Most people can't say that. And, maybe I'm leaving some extra money on the table, but it ain't that big of a, anywhere. If should be at 7 and I'm at 9, well, it's only 2% more than I'm paying. JR says, when I picked an item to release, I go to schedule your listing. I pick the date, 8 p.m. It's like the 3 hours off. It starts at 11. Don't know what PDT stands for. That's Pacific Daylight Time.
We already went.
That was a different person that asked the same question.
Oh.
Yeah. Mad Scientist says, I found a handful of niche categories I can find consistently and always on the lookout. 2,120 listings and growing. Just bought a mystery gamble, $1,600, educated guess, crossing my fingers for a 10x. Well, good luck on that.
I would die with 21.
I just the days, I can't say the days of me buying items that I'm not sure what I'm getting is over because, what I'm doing right now could be gone tomorrow and I'm back at square one. But right now it's working out.
Living it up while it's here.
No Design said the dynamic promoted rate works if you set a rate cap. If you set a rate cap of 5%, turn on dynamic. eBay recommends 10, but your rate is cap starts at 5%. And if the rate is at 2.4 recommended and your rate cap is 5%, eBay will set your promoted to 2.4 and no further. So that's kind of what I thought it was. It's just for me, I'm just going in there and I'm just, if I'm already at 9% and eBay jacks it up to 10 after I'm done listing the item, I'm still going to be up there in search. So shouldn't be that big of a deal. Devon says there's too many distractions in my house. Husband works from home. Teenager dogs, birds, turtles. Turtles shouldn't be a distraction.
But they're fun.
Dixie Flipper Mike says the shoes. I see why you guys was having a hard time. About 200 still. I'm doing eBay, Mercari, Poshmark. I have also donated some and sold to local as well. Either way, I'll still be selling them until they're gone.
Yeah.
I think maybe school time. School comes
September,
back in. You'll have a better
August.
time. Tegan says with putting more listings up, I literally can't list any faster. I haven't sourced in months, and I have inventory to keep me busy for a year still to list. Wonder if eBay will leave me where I'm at in views. Well, if you grow your store, you're going to be getting more views. It's just the way it works. So you're going to get more views, more impressions, page views, that type of thing, naturally because you have more items. It's just a numbers game, that type of thing. But I would say you always want to have some stuff that you haven't listed in the reserve, because when you run out of that stuff, you don't want to start sourcing. You want to get your sourcing, maybe have a box or two, like as your warning. Like when I'm down to this, I'm going to start getting out there and buying more stuff. Try to get to some new folks. Here's Guy Guru says sales are back to roller coaster this week. It's summer, so expected. Yeah, ours is roller coaster, but if I'm being honest, some distractions were happening this week. Didn't list as much as I wanted to, and I didn't sell as much as I wanted to. I just think there's a correlation between the two. Tegan says I get tons of packing materials for free from moving companies. I used to be a mover, so all the boys give me their stuff from Unpacks for free, even boxes full of new tape.
Yeah.
A bolo, for those of you who are, and I say bolo, it's not really a bolo. The terminology doesn't fit. But if you're looking for golf club boxes, then go to like Dick's Sporting Goods or a golf store, and they put out clubs for display to sell. But when you buy it, you just carry the club out, right? You're not getting the box. The boxes those came in are, yeah, I know, that stupid robot vacuum. So the boxes they came in are in the back, and you can get a lot of those boxes for free. So just go in there and say, hey, do you guys have any extra boxes you're not using for golf clubs? And that's a good way to do it. Tommy said, my first impressions are exactly that. Spend 50 cents to $1, get new materials so you don't look like a flea market. Repeat buyers are money. Let's see. Jason Byers Official says, I use all new boxes for anything that can go in the large or extra large at Lowe's, Walmart, but boxes bigger than that, got to be creative because bigger is hard to come by. UPS wants around $18 for a 24 by 24. So that's when you get creative. So 24 by 24, maybe you have a 24 by 12, a couple of them, you can stack them and, create a 24 by 24. So let's see. Says, I got a warning because I listed a jersey. In the title it said not signed, and eBay said that draws more people to my listing. What a joke. I saw comps on like 15 others that had not signed. Interesting. Did you have it marked as signed or something of that nature? That's interesting. Let's see. Trying to catch up to you guys because we're already at 4:42 Pacific Standard Time. So those of you on the East Coast are at 7:42, and see a lot of sidebar conversations. So no real questions. And look, let's see if I have. See, Thomas is. I think I was selling. Okay, so yeah, nothing new for me to answer. So. Guy Guru says U-Haul has good super large boxes. That's where I would go. I remember one time I was selling a water heater. Believe it or not, I picked up a pallet and they had like these water heaters, and I needed better boxes, and that was one place to go is U-Haul. Tegan says, does anyone buy from Uline and I get it shipped there 20 minutes away from me? It's still worth with shipping. I do buy from Uline. The boxes are cheap, but their shipping is not. And the reason is they usually do like 1 day for me. So I'm paying like $60. I bought 150 boxes that were shipped from California to Nevada, and I paid $62 in shipping. So, and I'm going to have to order some more because these are starting to diminish. My basketball cases are starting to sell, and we use those like every day. We're making sales.
Mama is a happy camper.
Guy Guru says, I had a question. Where can we get a Flippin' Ain't Easy hat? There should be a link down below for the company's called Spread Shop, but you go in and click on the link. It'll take you to the store, and you can check out a Flippin' Ain't Easy hat. Got the Flippin' Ain't Easy shirt going on. They got bags. They got coffee cups. They have all kinds of stuff. So just something that a couple years ago we wanted to do for the channel. I thought it was cool to have merch, and that was the easiest way to do it.
Yeah,
Well, she likes to do that kind of stuff.
I like to do that stuff. I wish I could have inventory to be able to make the stuff. I have all the equipment.
Yeah,
but
she does.
It's just.
She can take this. She didn't make this. This was
No.
given to me from the from another deal that I did, the reseller summit that we did in October. But she can take something like this and put any design you want on it, and it's just awesome. She's able to do that.
But I'd rather do shirts and hats. I mean, I have a mug press, I have a Cricut, I have the thing for the t-shirt. I mean, I have everything. It's just a matter of not having enough like stock of t-shirts or hats or whatever. That it costs. You have to buy in bulk to get the really good deals.
Yeah, they're going to a concert in July. Her and her sisters are going to a concert in July, and she's making shirts. I mean, so she has the stuff to do it.
Oh yeah,
so.
and I have a badass design Okay.
She'd rather do that than list.
Yes.
So it's like, honey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm listing. No, you're not. You're playing with your t-shirts.
I cannot wait. I'm going to do a test one this weekend.
Bell Resell says, how do you not be too emotional to items? That was a great reminder earlier. Do not get too attached or emotional to items.
Yes. How do you do it is you hold more value to the possession of that item more than trying to get rid of it. So you'd rather hold on to it for that unicorn buyer that's gonna, pay top dollar rather than just moving it. I was very guilty of that in the very beginning. In the very beginning, I was pricing things so high, it didn't matter what the market was saying. I was pricing it way too high, and John would come behind me and he's like, honey, you're never gonna get that for those shoes or whatever. And so I had to change my way of thinking. Is I'm trying to sell it. I'm not trying to hold on to it and keep a storage room full of that junk. I'm trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So you can't put your emotions like, oh, it's so cute, or you can't do that. It really harms your selling. The whole meaning behind reselling is to get rid of it.
And then a question here: anyone ever notice certain tape is loud using Uline tape dispenser, and some tape is completely quiet? It's the tape. I think it's the quality of the tape.
Well, ours is hella loud.
Oh yeah, it's the quality of the tape. I
think
sucks. The thicker the tape, the less noisy it is.
Oh,
Tegan says, Jenna, my cat loves her new bed. She stays in my west house. Happy kitty.
Happy kitty.
Yeah.
Aww.
And you know what's crazy?
I'm so glad that worked out. I was
Do you know that was listed last night on my account?
What?
I had
it wasn't even on your account.
It was on my account. End items sell similar. I'm like, wait, we sold that. So I went and looked and I'm like, it's gone. I'm like, okay, time to make sure it's gone. So it's gone. But eBay, that used to be on my account. We took it off and put it on the secondary account, and eBay put it back on. So be careful, guys. Dre Works says, Walmart for boxes. Figure out when your Walmart restocks and then go down the aisles with the shopping cart. Lots of small and odd sized boxes. Best of the wiper blade boxes. Okay. Mike says, free Amazon boxes. I drive around a recycle day and grab all I want. Yeah, 50 sizes. Haven't bought a box in 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I really like these items back here. I had to buy them especially for that, and I didn't buy as many as I needed. Wasn't quite sure those things were going to sell, and I didn't want to buy too many boxes. Now that I know they're selling, I need to get more. Tommy says, put your bills on your listing station. Will remind you not to be attached to the foundation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You just know that this is what you do for a living. This is how you make money. You might say, oh man, that's a cool thing, or that's cute, or whatever. But at the end of the day, what do they say? Don't get high off your own supply. So, get that stuff.
I don't know if that really goes with this analogy, but
well, that's mine. At least I made it quick, right? Tegan says, I have a hard time selling stuff for low offers, but at the same time, I got it for nothing. Is it worth holding on to? No, it's not worth holding on to. And, if you just listed it, I can see you holding on to it if you get a low ball offer. But if it's been sitting, you got to get it moved. No One Designs says, every time I look at my wife's spending statement, and that helps me not to get emotional about my items. Yeah. Mary Knight says, we have a junk week every month in my mom's neighborhood. There's always free boxes for grabs.
Yeah, man, you guys would have a heyday over at our house because
Vegas, it's everywhere in Vegas. Every
other week is large item pickup, and there has been times where we have lists. We have set up, piles of boxes. And it's ridiculous.
Aurora 3 cases. I don't know if you remember, but my MC11 suspended is over for 3 months ago. Sales are back, and I'm doing really nice sales, 20 to 25 sales a day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome.
I mean, the suspensions, they don't stick with you, right? Unless you do it again, and then that's even worse.
You just got to learn from it and move on.
Jason Byers has always used earplugs or other ear protection when packing, as well as gloves, safety glasses, and of course your face mask. Is your job is dangerous. I'm bad with that. I don't do any of that.
What for? What?
While you're packing, you have your goggles on and your
For
face
packing?
mask, and your earplugs.
For a packing for shipping?
Yeah.
Oh no. No. No.
Going Design says someone's been watching Breaking Bad. Yeah, it's not a lab in my
No.
garage.
No.
Tegan says I have a thing with tape. Will not use tape dispensers. I only use brown tape. It's the best mode.
Made in
VibTech, it's called. So that's like the brown paper tape. We're trying to get one. We're going to get one of those machines. The good ones are $1,000, and I'm just too cheap right now to pull the trigger on it. So that's what it is. Tommy says we have no such thing as large item pickup, so it's annoying.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
in California we didn't have it either, and
you had to request it.
Yeah, but even then it was like you had to call, and it was a pain in the neck.
Yeah.
And but here it's every other Thursday, and they just take it. It's wonderful.
Jason Byers says, I can't believe y'all are even casting and looking at the screen without the blue light glasses. No blue blockers for me. Just if the eyesight goes,
life on the edge, okay?
If the eyesight goes, it goes. It's just the way it is.
The eyesight's already gone.
Yeah. If bubble wrap snaps up and pops me in the face, then it's just the way it is. Yeah. Maybe it'll improve some things. Bill York says, I got a big sheet of bubble wrap recently. It fell off a moving van as they were unloading furniture. Wow.
I love that. Oh my
That's
God,
funny.
That would be us. We would see that and we would look at each other and we would hop right out of the car.
Geiger says, most of my county is private company ran trash. It's not too expensive, but they're picky.
Most of
and
my
then
county
Tommy
is what?
Most of my county is company ran.
Company ran.
Yeah.
Private company.
Yeah. The Tommy Bernard podcast says John and Jenna like to ride dirty.
That's right.
Insight says, is it better to sell cheaper long tail items at reduced price to get rid of or pull down to reserve ASP? I would say try the cheaper price for at least a week or two. And if that doesn't move it, then yeah, pull it. So maybe a little bit of both. So yeah, guys, we're almost at the 2-hour mark, getting kind of shy of it, 1 hour and 51 minutes in. And I've got a lot of listing that I need to do and to get ready for next weekend. Just the more I can get done now, the better. And it kind of ties into kind of what's
the last.
Oh, which one?
The last.
Oh, right here?
No, the last one.
Oh, No One Designs says, great live as always, Jenna and Chewy. See you in the next. That's not right. So, but
I'm just kidding, y'all. Reselling has to be the safest job I've ever had, other than driving around to yard sales that get dangerous.
Yeah, some people are dangerous.
That's dangerous.
No, I'll tell you what's dangerous. Going to the bins, that's dangerous.
That is where I will wear my safety gloves and my mask.
You should do that. We should go there and do that and just dress that way and have people looking at it. It's like, what the heck? Mm-mm. But, again, I'm going to be doing a lot of listing. I'm going to make up for the time that I'm taking off. And that could, if I didn't do that, that could, of course, contribute. If I didn't have those 3 days of listing, could be why my sales get slow. But I'm going to get in front of that, and I'm going to make sure I have items that get scheduled while I'm away, so that the algorithm thinks I'm being active. And that's just me. A lot of people disagree with that, but guys, I can only tell you it's working for me, and my process works for me. Your process works for you. And that's the beauty of this channel and these live streams. We can all kind of find little bits and pieces and try it for ourselves. And if it doesn't work, then scrap it and move on. But figuring all that out and figuring out what to do when you're on vacation during the summer is yet another example of flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent weekend. Get those sales, guys. Have a great
weekend. Everybody try to stay cool. We're going to hit triple digits.
We are under 100 away from 20K. So on the way out, if you can hit the like button and subscribe, I'd certainly appreciate it. And until then, we will talk to you guys again on Monday.
Bye, guys.
Take care, everyone.